So welcome everybody to the um, My Life, My Business Club with our Wish I Was Here event, and it's all about how engaged you are in your life, your career, or your business. And this afternoon's topic is really about Alistair presenting to us on how a leader, what is the best way to say it, can be an idiot. So, Alistair, without me saying anything else, no spoilers, over to you.
Thank you, Jacques. And so it's just I'm grappling with the thought of what is leadership, and so I don't have notes other than just to start off with the definition, which is really a almost an aggressive definition, and I'm going to share it, and then first of all, hear Jacques what your thoughts are, and then invite others to also share their thoughts on my perspective of what a leader is. Not the only one, but it's almost abrasive, but um, and I know where I'm going with it, but also invite others to share what they think I mean by what I'm going to say state now, right? So. And I was inspired to think of it this way because there's a Netflix series um, that I like to follow, and it's about holiday destinations, and it's this three fairly young people who travel the world, and they um, and in every episode they feature a very inexpensive, low cost holiday destination to a very high end one and a medium one. So each one of them gets to choose um, which one they'd like to feature, but they will always have a very low cost destination, a medium cost destination, and a very high destination. And on one of these episodes, they visited a ranch, a cowboy ranch with horses, and the host um, they interviewed the host, and they asked him, "What is your definition of a cowboy?" And he shared his definition of a cowboy, and I thought, what if I define leadership in one aspect as the same? And so this is my definition, my one definition of a leader. And I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to be quiet and hear what you have to say about that, but also mostly for you to come up with what do you believe a leader is.
What is your definition of a leader, Alistair?
I believe a leader is an idiot. And I'll stop there and just see what people think I mean by that.
So, Alistair, do you already want replies from our audience?
Yes, yes. And maybe, Jacques, you can let them know how to engage because I see at least two new people on our chat.
Okay, so it's two ways that you can participate. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can see, or you should be able to see that the hand signal where you can raise it, and then I can allow you to speak, or I can just automatically invite you, and you can decide whether or not you want to join us on stage. You don't have to speak, but at least you'll be able to flash your mic if you want to speak. There's a question, Alistair.
Mm-hmm.
Rayan says, please can you repeat your statement?
Yeah, so my statement is to Jacques' question, what is a leader, or what's your definition of a leader? And my very brief response is So my response is, Ryan, a leader is an idiot.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So my definition of a leader is I'm gonna give my own opinion. I would say certain leaders can be idiots.
Mm-hmm.
There can be some leaders that can direct you in the right, that can lead you in the right direction. So it varies from I would say different aspects in terms of personalities. So my own definition of a leader, someone that keeps you on the righteous path, someone that I would say notices you on your mistakes. It tells you, it keeps you accountable for the things that you're doing wrong. Yeah, and keeps you focused on where you headed in terms of your goal. That's my point.
Sorry, I was kicked out there for a bit, so I didn't get all of what you said, Ryan. Um,
Okay, so my definition was, I would say, what based on your statement, you said mentioned idiot. So from my perspective, there can be certain leaders that can be idiots, and there can be certain leaders that are not idiots. There are leaders that lead, and there are people that I would say that are idiots, that are leaders that can mislead you. So for me, the way I see a leader is someone that can lead someone in the right direction, lead him on the righteous path, that you can be guided, I would say, guided by this person. Learn, I would say, point you out on your mistakes, and so that you can work on it, and so that you can work towards your goal. That leader guides you. That's my point of view of how I see it.
well, thank you.
Pleasure.
Any others and their thoughts about what is your definition of a leader or leadership? So for those who just linked in late, Shanaz, I think you came in after I announced my definition of a leader. So I started by saying I believe a leader is an idiot. And so I know why I'm saying that, but I'm really keen to hear what others are thinking about um, that definition, or at least what your definition of a leader is. Any others? So, Christelle, so I see yours. A leader is someone who can remove obstacles and increase volition among people who follow them. And you also said this includes themselves. Shana says, I'm thinking laugh out loud, most probably at the definition that I gave. Um, any thoughts? Any other thoughts? I just want to make sure everybody can still hear me.
We can hear you. That's
Okay,
fine.
because my screen is doing some things as if I'm not in the chat room. And of course, guys, I'm going to give you my logic behind that statement, but more important than my definition is what you think. So thank you, Christelle, for that definition. So Rayan says Lishay would like to raise her opinion. Lishay, that's Rayan's wife. If you can, just there's a little hand at the bottom wave, and then Jacques will let you in. So Lishay says she's quite new to the app, so trying to figure it out. Maybe Lishay, if you can ask through Rayon if you're in the same space. Maybe Rayon, you can ask or make the comment on her behalf.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
I
I hope you all are well.
Yes, we are.
Good evening.
I guess the question is more of an open statement than a question. So I can agree on the statement saying that some leaders are idiots and then others are genuinely leaders who, they care about the people that are around them. And once, like, if a leader doesn't believe that teamwork makes the dream work, so to say, then they are an idiot, to put it plainly. Yeah, I'm actually working with someone like that. So, yeah, I guess age plays a big role. I believe that leaders, if a leader is insecure or fears losing that role, and somebody else is, it's almost like that person is a threat to them, then they become idiots.
Mm-hmm.
But in other terms, you get leaders that genuinely believe that working together can build a team.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my opinion.
Thanks, Lishay. So what if I add and emphasize that and add a word? So I said leaders are idiots. A leader is an idiot. What if I say, add a word? All leaders are idiots. What does that do to the thinking and discussion? All leaders are idiots.
Well, if you say all leaders, then I guess it makes the person, or let me rather say that why can't we all be leaders then? If all leaders are idiots, then we all can be idiots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
I
mean?
like that. It adds to my. Uh, what you're saying is, it makes me feel like I'm right.
But in terms of we all can be idiots, so we all can be leaders. If we're losing, we all can lose then. So why can't we all think of ourselves as leaders in the first place?
Yes, I like that.
And yeah,
That I like that taste that you put it. Um, yeah. Any others before I share what why I say so? Shanaz, I see it. I have to confess, I've said that some leaders are idiots when when in my view made bad decisions which have devastating effects on the group they lead. Right? We see that comment, Shanaz. Right. Let me tell you what I why I say so and where I go with that. So I believe all leaders are idiots. Um, but when that leader creates a team and followers that will happily volunteer their thinking, their physical ability, their emotional energy, their personal time, and their personal space, because that leader allowed them to the freedom to express their own humanity. And that leader has created a team or a platform or a business where their leadership causes this freedom of humanity. And when that leader creates that space and that impact, then I will be the first one to say, then that leader is not an idiot anymore. And I'll pause again, maybe for some comments there.
Um, I must admit, Alistair, I thought it was an acronym, and I'm waiting for you to explain what this acronym means.
No, it's not an acronym. That's going to be a very tough definition to say I. Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's a thought, Jacques. Maybe somebody on this group, Rayon, Lishay, Shanaz, Kirtley. The challenge is to come up with the acronym idiot to define what a leader is. Maybe that can be a little competition, Jacques.
Sure. So I am gonna leave today's discussion without this. I was like thinking for a whole week. I wonder what this could actually represent.
Okay. So well, that's important. But yeah, let's not the two of us because we leading the chat. Let's not feel the way to. I'm not even gonna think about what that acronym can be in to try and define what a leader is. Um, and so it's important for me to say. Remember, Jacques, we spoke a few weeks ago about trust. And I said, if you're going to go into partnership or collaboration with somebody, don't start with trust, start with distrust. And I spoke about the benefit of starting with distrust. And Jacques, you must confess that you thought before we actually had the conversation, that's I have a very tall order to accomplish in making sense of my statement. If you're going to collaborate, don't start with trust, start with distrust. And so the point at that time, and I'll bring it into this conversation, I've seen too many leaders, and Jacques, you and I work with leaders, in that we coach leaders and businesses, but all of us work with leaders. In other words, we kind of work under leaders, right? Still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So if we start with, there could be a challenge. You know, all leaders think they are good leaders. Most leaders think they are good leaders. But a huge percentage of those leaders also have devastating impacts on people. And because they start believing that they're doing well, let's say in this case, they start believing they're not idiots, they act with huge blind spots, and with devastating effects on others. But my theory is, and I'm not going to have these topics again because I can come across as somebody that's negative, because I said start with distrust, leadership is an idiot. So I'm going to be careful of going any further in some of these talks with that kind of mindset. But if I start as a leader and say I'm an idiot to even think that I will make an impact, but then the next question is, so what makes me not an idiot? And then I embark on a journey to improve and to move out of the space of being an idiot to actually uh, being not an idiot, in that I'm very intentional about the things that needs to happen in order for me to be such a powerfully positive, impactful leader. What it means to me, in one sense, is that I've created a team or a business where people happily volunteer their thinking, their minds, their physical ability, their hands, their emotional energy, their hearts, their personal time, and their personal space, because I have allowed that freedom to for them to express that level of humanity. And I've created a platform in my business, in my coaching, wherever I am, where this freedom of humanity is effected. Then, because I started with the fact that I need to make sure that I empower myself with all of these abilities in order to take people there. And when I do that, I'm not an idiot anymore. Jacques, I'm done. Over to you. I leave this hot
Well,
potato with you.
and certainly it is. But you know, Christelle has just shared a great definition as well. Also to say, first before I share Christelle's, Kirtley said he also thought it was an acronym. And but Christelle says, a great leader would be one who can create a space in which human beings can apply themselves and with full access to their full ontology. That is constructive, creative, calm thoughts, emotions, and actions that maximizes human potential.
Ooh. Christelle.
That's family, man. Good genes. It's. I tell you what. What else does Christelle say? Well, Lachey says, how does one deal with an idiot leader? Good question, Lachey, and we want to spend some time with that. Christelle says, no one can reach into anyone else's nervous system to change their actions. We perturb our own nervous systems and we just need space which is psychologically safe. So, you know, in what Christelle is saying, in when you want to sort of counter, I suppose, Alistair, when you now that I know you meant idiot as in the true definition of the word, I must say, if I then have to give it some sort of a, let's say, an acronymic attempt, then, you know, I would say a leader inspires defined destinations in others. The T I have, the others would be the OTS part. because a lot of what Christelle is saying is knowing that you're living your life in a certain way. You're leading in a career or in a business, or you're serving in an organization. The point is, a leader gives you purpose and takes you away from that place that we all recognize as the cold face, the thing that's right in front of us, the thing that puts us sometimes onto a treadmill experience when it's just a struggle for survival, if you like. I'm dealing with what I see, which is in front of me. I have no aspiration. I have no idea of what my tomorrow looks like. And I think a great leader provides that inspired picture of a future, that kind of gives you or stimulates excitement in terms of seeing something positive that you can aim at. But more than anything else, a great leader also points the direction in which a team is moving forward. Because I don't think you can separate a leader from having a team. Because I would say, if we're going to talk about a leader as an idiot, I would say is the leader as an idiot has missed the opportunity to inspire, motivate, to help people move beyond who they are, to step into their full potential. But that leader is an idiot, has opted to be a manager rather.
And so you're right. So what I cannot say is a leader will remain an idiot. And once an idiot, always an idiot. So I'm happy that I left grace to say, and if that leader, that's the space I created, if he creates an environment, then he's not an idiot anymore. In other words, it is in your ability as a leader to change. And in Afrikaans, there's this, ek is gemaak en gelaat staan. In other words, this is how I was born, and this is how I will continue. Does not help, but we need to know that we can grow. And I think it's Maxwell that says, a tide in the harbor lifts and raises all the boats. In other words, if we raise our leadership, and our leadership is a tide, like a water, a wave, and we raise our leadership, everybody in that harbor, all the boats in that harbor will also lift. In other words, you don't raise the tide and then some boats stay low and others are high. All the boats. And another way of saying that is, and I say, if leaders get better, everybody wins. Nobody loses when a leader gets better. And that's one of the most almost statements, emphatic statements, that is almost always true of leadership. If you get better as a leader, Jacques, everybody in your space becomes a winner because of the impact you're making on them.
So I just want to read some of the inputs from our audience tonight. Christelle says again, well, that's why women make great leaders, by the way, because we're wired and geared for holding space for children, for example. Mothering has taught me that children learn what they live, not what they are told. Again, so we lead them by creating a space in which they can learn safely, fail forward, and make it okay to try and make mistakes. She also says, I think that's an easily transferable skill to the workspace. This is now mothering. We can hold space for ourselves and others. Lisha says, integrated digital input and output transmitter. She says, Google gave me that. But I would like to break it up into invested divers, individual overseeing a team. This is a crack at the acronym. Wait. Invested divers, individual overseeing a team. Lishay, what do you mean by divers?
Maybe it's drivers. So
Is it
while
drivers, Lishay?
so she can respond just in the chat. But Jacques, so 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 Christelle, you have a partner, you have a champion in me. When you bring up this thing about females and women make better leaders, I'm very plain and very direct on this thing. I believe the world would have been a much better place way back. If only way back, wherever way back is, we realize the power of your statement. That if we saw the power of female leaders, there are many organizations who are benefiting from women leaders, female leaders, and the beauty that they bring. I even believe, I'm even going to go as far as to say that our country, and it's not a political, whatever political party it is, our country would have been better some time ago if we recognized the power of a female leader and appoint one. I think that's the future. So I'm the number one champion for that cause.
Wonderful. I'm now very pleased that we actually have now. I can go to bed at peace tonight. The leader as an idiot now actually means invested, diverse individual overseeing a team. Yeah. No, not drivers. Diverse. Invested, diverse individual overseeing a team. I love it. Thank you, Lishay. You have made my day.
And I left you nervous.
I'm just teasing, Alistaire. But you know, it's that time and again. And I must say, tonight we've taken something that we all think about in a certain way, standard, whether we go textbook definition or depending on what our profession is. And having some fun with this topic. And I mean, it's a deep topic. It's a vast topic. But at least you stimulated the thought. And in some of us, you may have created maybe a defense mechanism. But what I liked was Lishay's comment earlier on is that if you say leaders are all idiots, then we are all leaders. And it's an interesting way, in mathematics, we know that is in inductive reasoning. And it works. We are all leaders, whether we are by default or whether we are by choice. And so we can choose to be leaders who are not the classic idiots, but these invested, diverse individuals overseeing a team, creating a space for the team to grow. Christelle's words, to fail forward, to have the confidence, because it's only creating that synthesis, that bonding, that blending of people and relationships, we then have the courage to fail. We have the courage to feel safe, to experiment, to dream, to reach for our dream. And so, Alistaire, you evoked a lot of emotion and thought and something to really think about. We've run out of time, way over time. So thank you, Alistaire. It's been interesting.
Yeah, but I promise you it will be the last time, because soon I will be identified as somebody with negative concepts. But all I wanted was, we needed to spark a conversation about leadership, and more so, what kind of leader I am or you are. Thank you, Jacques.
Thank you, Alistaire, and thank you for the participation. It's been really wonderful. So have a good evening, everyone, and we'll see you next week.